Welcome to part 3 of our series on eating disorders awareness. Thousands of people suffer from eating disorders, so this week we recognize National Eating Disorders Awareness Week. We asked experts at Jacksonville's Body Image Counseling Center, how do you approach someone who may be suffering from an eating disorder?
Parents know their kids the best, and that they can trust that instinct that if something's not right, then it's something that needs to be attended to, whether or not it's a full-blown eating disorder. Isn't necessarily, you don't have to decide that right then, but if you're thinking as a parent something's not right, then something probably isn't right, and that you need to at least start having a conversation with your child about, all right, what's going on? I'm noticing something's different, and what do we need to do about that?
First step for parents would be to try to sit down with your child and really talk about what you notice, what you're observing, and really not to be judgmental or critical or accusation. When you try to accuse a child of things, they tend to kind of get, defensive. And so when you just tell them, here are some of the things we've noticed and we're really concerned, is there anything we can do to help? What can we do? Would you mind going to talk to somebody with us? That's really the best way to kind of approach your child so that they don't become defensive. And if they don't respond the first time, to keep going back and back and back, because usually they don't want to admit it. Eating disorder is really innate in them, is that the fact that the children are usually in denial, and so they're not going to be outright and forthcoming, because they don't even know sometimes that they are sick themselves. So you really have to keep coming back, and really help them, pull them out of that center of denial so that they can get the help that they need.
What happens with lots of, not just parents, but significant others and partners, is that you see that something's not right, you see something evolving, and they try to start being directive or controlling about what they're going to eat or not eat, and that's never a good idea to get into a power struggle with somebody you care about what they're going to eat, because you really don't have control over that.
The hard thing with adults is that you can't force them to go to treatment like you can with kids. And the best thing to do is the same kind of thing you would do with your child, is go to your friend or your loved one and tell them what you've observed. And you should stick with observable behavior rather than your opinion, because they can't really deny that they've lost 20 pounds over 3 months, or that they're seeming more depressed, or that they're not involved in the organizations they used to be involved in, or they're not going out with friends as much, or they've been drinking more, or they've been disappearing to the bathroom. So you very gently go to them and tell them, I care about you, this is what I've been seeing. And you have to come prepared with a place for them to go get help, some numbers of therapists or centers where they can go get some help so they have it in their hand. And then not to give up, to not harass them about it, but to say, I'm not forgetting about you, I care about you. Did you follow up on those recommendations I gave you?
Well, they can call us, of course, or certainly talking to a pediatrician or primary care doctor. But it's not something, eating disorders don't get better on their own. So I think that you can read and get some more information, but also talking to somebody that has some experience dealing with this is the best thing. It doesn't have to be a full-blown eating disorder to reach out for help. This is often a case of life and death, and it's better to offend somebody and then apologize later than to see someone die from an illness that you could have prevented. And we see that happen, unfortunately, a lot with kids and adults, that people think someone else is handling it. Someone else is, oftentimes teachers think the parents are dealing with it, and parents think the teachers are dealing with it, but the fact is no one's dealing with it. So if you work with children, or you work with, you have someone you love that you think is suffering, err on the side of being offending them. You can always make it up to them later.
If you or someone you love are suffering from an eating disorder, you must seek help. Discuss your concerns with your doctor and call the Body Image Counseling Center in Jacksonville for more information. For Jacksonville.com, I'm Amanda Warford.